Greetings, soul beings, divine beings, and celestial beings. How you guys doing? I hope all is well wherever you are in the world at this time. Um, I am here, guys, because I want to check in with the energies and just what other messages, I should say, that I'm getting from Divine Spirit regarding the current energies and dynamic and tension between the male and female gender um, situation that's been going on out here in the world. So let me be specific and say that I am specifically concerned about the the continuous rise of violence, tension, and misogyny against women, um, the female gender specifically. Now, this is not going to be any kind of male bashing type of situation because I know I have some male subscribers here who are part of the collective as well. But this is a video that I'm doing specifically for just to tap in to see what is behind all the um, what I would feel is more like an epidemic occurrence between the male and female genders of this of society right now, where there's seems to be a lot of um, increasing, as I said, increasing violence against women, misogynistic views, and um, communication towards females at this time, and even more so specifically um, brown and black women. Okay, so if you're not brown, or if you're not brown, black, or a woman, I'm sure you can still add some constructive feedback or contribute to the conversation if you feel moved to do so. But I just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time, this is going to be a reading that I want to tap into a little further, because I was getting the messages before even deciding to even do this reading, that I'm hearing that there is a great amount of male population that I heard a lot of, I heard Spirit say a lot of it comes from a lot of jealousy and resentment towards um, the female population today, specifically the females that are, say, independent, have pretty strong, stable, and secure careers. Sorry about the airplane, guys. I have the window open. Um, those who might be single, no kids, really towards the women who, hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. So clearly, this airplane was taking its sweet little time going past, so I had to put it on pause because it was really noisy. But anyway, so shoot, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, I these are towards women who are specifically, very independent, stable in their jobs and career and education. Um, Women that have created lives and home lives and stability for themselves without necessarily the help from a male partner or male spouse or anything. There are a lot of women um, here in this country alone, which is the United States for me, guys, that are doing very well for themselves. And um, there's been this there's been this misconception, I think, probably from both sides, male and female, that these particular women who are doing well for themselves, who are making a name for themselves, whether it's in career or just whatever they're doing, um, and really making a life for themselves through their hard work and through their perseverance and through their achievements and accomplishments. I think there's like this misconception that um, women don't need men. Um, and while, in my personal belief, there's some truth to an extent, um, in terms of women being able to create lives of their own. I don't feel like it's black or white situation. There is some shade of gray here because it is about balance. Everything in this universe, in this world, guys, is about balance. It's about polarity. It's about um, dark, light, good, bad, odd, even. You get the gist. So it is really about balance, and we do need a balance. Even in our masculine and feminine energies, we need a balance of both. We can't be far over to the right on our masculine side, and we can't be far over to the left in our feminine side. Um, so I just want to tap in because, as I said, before I started doing this reading earlier today, I was getting the message from Divine Spirit that there's a lot of the misogyny, the resentment, the harsh treatment, and sometimes violence towards um, women these days, and even more so specifically brown and black women, black and brown women. Um, a lot of that comes from deep-seated resentment, jealousy, and insecurity. I want to add that. So let's tap in and just get some more energy between the male and female dynamic today. Divine Spirit, what is the current energy between the male and female genders today in this society, with everything that's going on, and this perceived quote unquote uh, war of the genders? Let's get some energy. Holy Spirit, what's the current energy at this moment between the male and female genders? What's the current energy or energies? Yeah. Thinking man in reverse. Anything else? Anything else? What other? Okay. So, interesting. So, we got here door to personal healing and happiness. We got the thinking man that came out in reverse. And then we got victory that came out more so upside than sideways. I mean, more so upright than sideways. And then voila, we got yin yang at the bottom, which actually was in reverse. So we have the yin yang, which talks about balance, the yin and the yang. And with it being in reverse at the bottom of the deck, Spirit is confirming that there's an imbalance between masculine and feminine energies here. This is part of the reason why this tension has been increasing, because there's an imbalance on both parts, women and female. You have women that are too much in their masculinity or too much in their femininity. Then you have men that are too much in their masculinity, and men that are too much in their femininity. So there's no healthy balance on both parts and both genders, is what I'm getting. This is why the yin yang came out in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Then we have the world card that was also in reverse. So we had the world card. We had the world card here that came out in reverse, and on the other back side, we had the yin yang that came out in reverse. And so with the world card, being in reverse as well, tells me that it's a repetitive cycle that continues on and on and on, and that's why things are continuing to get worse between a lot of the men and women. And let me even break it down even more. A lot of this tension and back and forth between a lot of the men and women here that I'm speaking of um, are surrounding um, a lot of it is around issues of dating, marriage, the expectations of dating and marriage, the expectations of a man's role, the expectations of the woman's role. And I don't know about you guys, but if you guys get around here on the YouTube streets like I do, you see, even in the comment sections, the men and women constantly going back and forth with each other, acting as if they're enemies, and just um the amount of the amount of like anger and resentment, and just it's a very irate energy between the genders that I'm often coming across, especially in the comment sections on YouTube, depending on what the channel is, and what the content creator focuses on. And you do have a lot of content creator channels, or a lot of channels here on YouTube that do focus on um, the male perspective, and then the female perspective, and then you get all kinds of different opinions and um, perspectives from different people all over the place. But what I've been seeing, not just through, and it's not just YouTube, I see it on other places, on other platforms as well, but this makes so much sense in terms of the cards that are coming out so far. So as I said, we had the first card that says door to personal healing and happiness. And then we have the thinking man that came out in reverse. And then we have the victory. So let me first start with, hold on guys, sorry. Sorry guys, I'm kind of got some distractions, but the thinking man that came out in reverse here automatically, it tells me as a reader, and what I'm getting is that from a mental and psychological aspect, um, there are a lot of there are a lot of first of all, there are a lot of wounded men, and there's like a block in terms of the way a lot of men are perceiving women in their role in this life, and in their role as potential partners, and in their role just as citizens of this country, and just on this earth. Okay, there's a misconception, um and almost kind of like an illusion that has been created for a lot of these guys. It's been created it's been created since childhood. um Almost in like a mentally warped, there's a mentally warped idea or sense of of belief that a lot of men have that is just not true. Um, it's like creating these illusions and believing something that isn't either there, um, believing something that is not true, and a lot of times these um, these ideas and misperceptions and 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 thoughts and ideas about the opposite sex, the female, and their role in this world and in their role in one's life has been totally misconstrued. Um, and so it's created a lot of illusion for a lot of the men out here who come from a place, who already come from a place of deep inner childhood wounding, trauma, abuse, neglect, and abandonment. Thank you. Um, but with victory and the healing to personal healing and happiness, ultimately, there's going to be a balance. There's going to be a balance. We're right now, we are in the age of Aquarius and we are experiencing a lot of turnover. And when I say turnover, I mean energetic shift turnover, which means that a lot of things that have gone up must come down. Um, a lot of things must be balanced out at this point. A lot of things are balancing out. We are seeing a lot more often these days, even in the media. Look at some of the things that people are having to answer to. I want to say specifically, let's use examples, a lot of celebrities. There are a lot of celebrities that are getting hit with different things right now as we speak, because there are a lot of things that are coming to the surface, a lot of things that are coming to the light that need to be um, balanced, that need to be answered for, that need to be accounted for. In terms of accountability, there are a lot of things that need to be, the scales need to be balanced. And part of that is divine justice. So things are going to be eventually balanced out with this victory card and the door to personal healing and happiness. What I'm getting to, let me fix this light here. That's a little better. Um, the other thing that I'm getting to, y'all, is there are going to be, thank you, Spirit, there are going to be some people um who are going to be forced to heal. There are some that are going to be forced to heal. What I mean by that is I'm getting the energy of where there's going to be certain people um, that are going to be placed in situations having to answer for their actions, um, that are going to be in a situation where they have no choice but to get help. They have no choice but to heal. They have no choice but to look at their shadow side. They have no choice but to face the music, is what I'm getting. Where, you know, the universe and God source and divine spirit and they've given some of these people uh, a great amount of time and years to get the proper help that they needed. A great amount of time and opportunity that a lot of these folks have had in order to do better, to know themselves better, to heal those traumas, to work on those traumas, to face those traumas, and to get the proper help. Now, and that was when, you know, we were given that free will and many opportunities to do that. And a lot of them even when presented with those opportunities at that time, dismissed it or looked down on it or felt like they didn't need any help. And at this point, they're going to be put in particular situations that are going to, for some, be so devastating and be so uncomfortable that they're going to have no choice but to get the proper help that they need. The help that they've been avoiding and running from is what I'm hearing for some. Um, let's check in with the tarot here. Actually, you know what? That's not the card I want to get. Appropriately enough, I got the I got the yin yang, the yin yang oracle deck here. What other messages, Holy Spirit, do you have regarding this? What looks and appears to be uh, the war, this gender war of the feminine and masculine, male and females. What are the messages, Holy Spirit, do you have regarding that at this time? Sun, strength, empowerment. Exactly. Okay, so what I'm getting with this message here, with this sun, strength, and empowerment card, I'm getting that this signifies a couple of things. It signifies that that these times and energies that we're in right now, and feeling like, there are a lot of us that feel like we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Some of the males here and some of the females on this end, like they're on opposite they're on opposite ends, um or and oppositions. um there's going to be a lot of strength required to continue to go through the rest of these days when there's heightened tension, heightened violence, heightened misogyny, heightened resentment, heightened jealousy, and heightened insecurity. However, ultimately, the sun is going to come out. The sun is the ultimate outcome, right along with this victory card. So, what I'm hearing is it's like that saying, things have to get worse before they get better. But just know, when it's all said and done, things will be better. There will be a victory. There will be peace. Now, there's also, thank you, Spirit, because I have to bring this up as well. There's also a certain level of internal misogyny from females as well. So this is not that's adding to this heightened level of, I feel, epidemic proportions of males having this misogynistic view and attitude and behavior toward women. It's been added um, from some women as well, from some women that have internal misogyny. Basically, that means women who internally have um, some misogynistic views and opinions and behaviors toward the same sex. Um, so that adds on to the current challenge and the issue that a lot of women out here are facing. Any other messages, Holy Spirit? Any other messages from this deck regarding this particular current challenge issue regarding Yep. Rejection, loss, and fragmented. I don't take these cards. I don't take this deck in reverse, just FYI. But yeah, this makes sense. These are this energy of rejection, loss, and fragmented really speaks to a lot of the men and some women. But I'm specifically at this point just talking about the some of the men. I want to say some because it is some. It is not all men. I want to make that abundantly clear because I know someone may hear me say some, but actually in their mind think I'm saying all, or I'm saying some, but they may hear all. No, I'm saying some men, not all men. Okay. We all know this, not all men. This reading is situation and challenge and issue that we are currently experiencing in the world absolutely does not, um, absolutely does not mean all men. Okay. So I just wanted to just emphasize that. But with rejection, loss, and fragmented, this actually really talks and speaks to a lot of men out here these days that are projecting from those traumas and wounds and childhood traumas and some of the wounds of feeling rejected, feeling lost, and their souls being fragmented. And a lot of us, whether you're male or female, a lot of us come from fragmented souls or have fragmented souls from a lot of the um, experiences we had to endure, specifically growing up and in our childhood. You know, this talks about, once again, it talks about the childhood wounds, the traumas, the abuse, all kinds of abuse that some of us have endured that eventually fragmented our souls and fragmented us. Okay. And so that's where a lot of this projection and misogyny towards women, that's where a lot of it comes from. Now, I want to also say that with that being said, this is in no way, shape, or form excusing any kind of disrespectful or violent behavior towards women at all. This is not an excuse. I'm just giving you some of the background and where a lot of that has been rooted from. Okay, so I just want to make that abundantly clear as well that I am not excusing anybody's behavior against another human being, someone's toxic behavior, someone's abusive behavior, someone's violent behavior against another human being, whether you're male or female. I'm not making any excuses for that or for that person. But I just wanted to dive a little deeper um, into the situation in terms of where a lot of it stems from. And a lot of it also, I'm hearing, which makes sense as well, a lot of it also stems from uh, how one was raised, what their belief system was, you know, what the family dynamic belief system was, what the family dynamic conditioning was. Okay. Because a lot of us, you know, we come from family dynamics and situations and environments where we are conditioned to believe certain things. We have certain belief systems that we didn't we didn't decide on our own. They were planted in within us. They were told to us. You know, we were told what to wear. We were told what to do. We were told how to worship. We were told what to worship. You know, those are some of just the examples. And there are a lot of these types of people, or a lot of these types of men, especially with the thinking man coming out in reverse like it did, whose minds aren't objective enough, very set in their ways, very set in their belief systems in the whole patriarchy um, mindset, in what they've learned in the family conditioning, the friend environment, the work environment, school. It's a system that was very much embedded in some of these minds. Okay, let's get another message. Oops, I'm being told not to take all those. What are the messages? What are the messages, Holy Spirit, do you have regarding this male and female tension that we're experiencing out here in the world? I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Okay. And all this green too, just an FYI. A lot of this green in this card also for me is signifying the heart space, which is your fourth chakra. The heart space is where it all begins, guys. The heart space. So there's a lot of heart space healing that a lot of these men need healing from. They need healing in their heart space. Sorry, they need healing in their heart space. And the heart space, that's where the feminine energy lies as well, guys. The feminine energy comes from the heart space. And a lot of the men are very much operating in their masculine energy instead of their feminine energy. The feminine energy, in order to have a healthy balance of both energies, you have to also be healed or healing from your heart space. Okay. And with it saying humor, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Spirit is telling us to also, as serious as things can get in this world and are currently are, um, Spirit is not saying to not acknowledge the seriousness of the state of the world these days, and some of the things that we're hearing and seeing through the media, and even the seriousness or challenges and situations that we have going on in our own personal lives. Spirit is not saying to ignore that and to not acknowledge that, but Spirit is also encouraging us to be more involved with the lighter side of life. Find that humor, find things that bring us joy, find things that make us laugh, whether it's through comedy books, comedy shows, or doing fun things, things that make us smile, things that make us laugh, and making sure that we're doing these things while we are in a very intense energy these days, not only through planetary energies, but just a lot of the dark shadow energies that are being projected into the world from a lot of hurt and wounded people right now. Okay. So Spirit is just reminding everyone, including myself, to make sure we have time to be on the lighter side. And there are some things that we need not take so seriously. And you, as an individual and as a spiritual being, you'll know and have the discernment of what things you need to not take so seriously. I'm hearing. Thank you, Spirit. What else? I don't think I meant to go this long, but anything else from this deck, Holy Spirit, regarding this perceived gender war between male and female these days? Hold on, guys. Let me get that. Okay, so this one fell on the floor. It says forgiveness, which makes so much. Speak, Spirit. Come on, talk. Come on, talk now. Okay, forgiveness, which makes so much sense. especially with it being paired up with this humor and this orange that represents the heart chakra and the heart space. I mean, with this green, sorry, it's paired up with this green that represents the fourth chakra, heart space. Then we have forgiveness here. It says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. You better speak, spirit. You better come through. Did I not just mention resentment quite a few times? Because this is the energy that is being projected towards each other. You know, even though this is a reading specifically trying to tap into what's really going on with specifically the male gender out here, projecting a lot of the resentment, jealousy, misogyny against women. There are a lot of women that have resentment as well because of the things that um, they're being currently the things that are being currently projected onto them. And so, you know, it's an energy, a ping pong that's kind of going back and forth between the male and female energies at this time, where a lot of projections are just being thrown back and forth. And that's why, once again, the yin and the yang energy is out of balance. And this is another reason why the world card on the bottom of that deck came out in reverse, because the world card, the world card that came out in reverse on the bottom of the deck is because it's a continuous cycle that goes back and forth where no one is getting anywhere. It's just creating more and more of the same. Okay. But forgiveness is required from both the male and the female out here. This forgiveness, both genders, the male and the female, are harboring a lot of resentment towards each other for different reasons. Let me make that clear. But no matter how you look at it, forgiveness is needed. Forgiveness is needed, y'all. And forgiveness ain't easy. It's just not. What is, but it's something that needs to occur at some point in order to see the appropriate change. I do believe with, um, there are a lot of feminine energies who are in their divine feminine, who are operating in their divine feminine power. And there are a lot of um, males, divine masculines, that are operating in their divine masculine power. And with these two operating in, the divine masculine power and the divine feminine power, this is what's ultimately going to bring victory and empowerment in a sun energy when it's all said and done. The collective of those who are divine feminine and divine masculine energies, those who are in the collective that are operating in such energies, are going to help bridge the gap. Because right now, there's a lot of tension between the male and females right now for so many different reasons, but a lot of it is at the root of it is a lot of jealousy, resentment, insecurity, abandonment issues, rejection, and anger. A lot of men are angry at women right now, and a lot of women are angry at men. But there are a lot more, and I feel like the majority of the women that are angry with men, it's a reaction. I feel a lot of it is a reaction based on the projection of some of the unhealed men out here that have been doing a lot of the projection and misogynistic statements and comments and behavior towards women. And a lot of women are fed up and angry. So it's like I said, it's like a ping pong of the same energies going back and forth. To every action, there's a reaction. And a lot of the women are reacting to that. Okay, at the end, when it's all said and done, what are the other situations, Holy Spirit, that are going to come about, or what is the ultimate um outcome? Oh, well, we know the ultimate outcome, but what other situations will we see arise, Holy Spirit? Anything else? Are there any other situations we'll see come to the surface regarding these energies right now between the men and the women in this perceived gender war? Yep. Okay. So let me tell you what I'm getting from this off the break. So the um we have the sorry, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Sorry guys. We have the Nine of Pentacles that came out upright, and then we have the Two of Cups, which makes a lot of sense. We have the Two of Cups that came out in reverse. Okay. So we have the Two of Cups that came out in reverse, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles that came out upright. And the the Two of Cups coming out in reverse talks about disharmony, disconnection, imbalance, inequality, incompatibility, unhappy couples. Bam. It just said it all right here. Spirit is just confirming everything that I've just talked about. Thank you, Spirit. So the Two of Cups in reverse. No love, no being disconnected. But with the Nine of Pentacles coming out upright, it talks about independence. I'm getting specifically here, especially with this woman that is in this card. So I'm going to be specific about gender right now with the tarot. I typically don't, but in this particular case, every now and then there are some exceptions in terms of the download that I get. With this woman here and the Nine of Pentacles being upright in this card here, it tells me that there are a lot more. They're going to, because of the current tension between the men and women today. There are a lot of women that are going to be single and independent, and um, either walking away from relationships or um, not focusing on being partnered up at this time, or not being partnered up for a while. Um, you're going to see a lot of women deciding to kind of just do life on their own. I'm getting until things change, until women feel safe enough to be partnered up with someone. So you are going to see more women deciding to, as I said, do life themselves by themselves, um, to live a single life, um, to not invest in relationships with the opposite sex. I feel like there's going to be just a lot of women that are going to be just focusing on themselves with self-love, being independent, being single, just living life, trying to find some sense of peace, safety, um, and removing themselves out of the dating pool, the dating environment, in order to have peace and a peace of mind. Yep, that's what I'm getting. We're going to be seeing more of that. So, um, but because, and this is going to create a level of empowerment, um, not just for the women, but it's going to create a level of empowerment for some men that when that happens, there, like I said, there are going to be situations where there are going to be a lot of men that are going to be left to, they're going to have no choice but to stop and take a look at themselves, take a look at what they've been running from, take a look at what needs to be healed, doing more self-reflection, um, doing things that's going to put them in the position of finally having to face their fears of healing and do the healing work. Um, so yeah, this is what I'm getting. It's going to take a lot of healing, and it's going to, and I do feel like as, um, I know as a collective, those of us who are walking the spiritual journey, and those of us who have this special purpose of having a positive impact on the collective, um, with whatever spiritual gifts and healing that we can lend to the collective, we need to give as much support as we can to both a lot of these men and women. Okay, the men that need to do the healing work, that need to get healing, that need to address their traumas and their wounds, and that need to get more connected with them, with their higher selves, and even more so get connected with divine source creator, and support the women who have been on the receiving end of, um, the um, the projections and the resentments, and the misogyny, um, and the violence and the abuse. Um, we're going to have to give support to everyone involved, no matter which position or role you may have played. It's our job and my job to give that support where it's needed. It could be energetic support, spiritual support, by praying, by sending healing messages out here that I'm doing now, and that quite a few of us are doing at this time on this platform. Sending love and light to the universe, being very intentional in what we send to the collective regarding healing, being very intentional about doing it, focusing and visualizing what the world is going to look like once this dark moment or dark period is over, and the two genders can come together as divine masculine and feminine in the ways that we were meant to. Okay. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. That's what I'm getting. And I think this is probably where I need to stop. I'm getting that this is basically the gist of it all. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. So, you guys, send love and light out to the world right now. Um, that the people that need to be healed will finally either do the healing on their own, or even if they're not, a lot of them are going to be forced to at this point. But there definitely needs to be a lot of love sent out to the world and the universe at this time, specifically regarding the energetic imbalance and energetic dynamics between the men and the women. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have right now. Yeah, that's all I have. So I hope you guys found the message helpful. I'm kind of stopping because I feel like there's more downloads that are going to be coming, but I don't have them just yet. So that's what it is. Thank you, Spirit. So what I'm feeling is that I'm getting a few more downloads. Um, they're not ready yet for me to speak on. But when they are, I will certainly I will probably make a video for this if I'm being led to do so. But in any case, guys, these are the messages that I'm getting. I hope that they resonated and I hope that you found it helpful. Um, yeah, so that's it. Until the next upload, guys, be well, be at peace, be empowered. And I'm sending you love wherever you are in the world. Peace and blessings, guys. Ashe.